why that group specifically? I know you kind of shared your story, but why that group?
I guess it's because that's exactly where my transformation happened at the end of the day. You know, I transformed my health. I lost 7 stone in weight. I overcome alcohol addiction whilst I was losing my dad. And I think grief is a kind of emotion. It's a negative emotion that we're facing. And usually with a negative emotion, our brains, like we said at the start of the podcast, they want us to go to something quick to get us out of that mood that we're in. And grief is similar because, you know, whether you're coming home from work stressed out or whether you're dealing with a loss of a loved one, they're obviously different emotions, but both of those emotions are going to make you want to self-soothe your pain. So I think where I'm trying to help people is if they are struggling with a loss of a loved one or they have lost a loved one, is that there's a way of, like I said, there's flipping the worst of a negative into the best of a positive. And there was one explanation I gave where I went to see my dad in a care home. It was a week before he died. Didn't know that at the time, but he was very weak, starting to slur his words, and he couldn't really speak properly. And I remember leaving the care home, and as I drove home, I just cried my eyes out. And because this was now nearing 2 years of him deteriorating and of me studying self-improvement and self-help books and everything else. So now I had the knowledge and I knew how to apply it. And I just thought the only control I've got here is to go home, and I picked up my dumbbells and just smashed a strength training workout. And in my mind, it was because my dad's muscles were getting weaker, I wanted his son's muscles to be getting stronger. And it was my only fight back against ALS. I thought, if you're going to take my dad's muscles, you're not taking me as well. You're not going to ruin my son's life as well as my dad's life.
Yeah.
How would my dad feel if he thought, well, MND's killing me, and yet he's watching his son heartbroken, crying, struggling, turning to alcohol, turning to junk food? Well, MND or ALS is now killing his son as well as himself.
For
And
sure.
I didn't want my dad feeling that guilt. How would they want you living your life right now if they were watching you? And I think it's actually selfish to suffer in that heartbreak. I know I'm not telling people not to grieve, but I feel like there's a way of taking that grieving, taking that heartbreak and flipping it into the biggest strength that you can possibly make it.
Yes.